So here's what your favorite gurus won't tell you about self-improvement and becoming the best version of yourself as a man. And it's the following. It's most of these so-called gurus or coaches will say that you need to be perfect, will say that you need to have every single metric of your life dialed in every single day. You need to wake up every single day at a set time, say 6 a.m., go through a 1 hour morning routine, do your meditation, reading, cold shower, all this stuff, and only then get into your day, whatever, and do that religiously every single day. And look, there is nothing wrong to strive for that, but I can tell you right now that one of the key pieces of advice that I feel like is overlooked is that it's unrealistic to operate 100% every single day, right? And this is coming from a place of pure realism and someone who has basically been in the entrepreneurship and self-improvement space for many years now, basically over 4 years to be exact. Essentially, the mentality of needing to be 100% perfect every single day does more harm than good, right? If you can just accept that, look, some days, 5 to 10% of your days, not more than that, right, are going to be not pretty good. They're just going to be pretty shit days, right? That gives you a lot more freedom in your life because you now are essentially able to understand that you're human, right? And you don't need to be 100% perfect. It also gives you the ability to not start something, then fail, and then have to start again constantly over and over again because you're just holding yourself to too much of a high standard where you're thinking, okay, you need to be 100% perfect. Therefore, as soon as there's one thing that goes wrong, you need to restart. And this basically messes up your consistency, right? It actually does more harm than good for your progress. And I used to be that guy. I used to be the guy that thought everything in my life needed to be 100% regimented, but 100% of the days also, right? And so I used to have these challenges where I would set out, okay, I need to wake up at 4:50 a.m. and I need to do these certain tasks in my morning routine, which was essentially, there was a lot at one point, right? This was at the peak of it. It was hit the gym, have a cold shower. It was visualization, meditation. It was also, there was also some funky hypnosis, weird stuff, listening to an audio. Look, it benefited me 100%, but what didn't benefit me was the idea that I needed to do this every single day to a T. And as soon as I didn't, say, as soon as I woke up at 6 a.m. and maybe failed a wake up, which would happen sometimes I'd go a month in a row, sometimes I'd go 3 months in a row, sometimes I'd just go 3 days in a row before failing, quote unquote. I would then restart the streak. I'd restart the challenge. It would be a challenge where I keep track of the days and stuff like that. And look, whether you have an actual challenge or not in your life, or whether you're just keeping track of the days in your mind, the same principles apply. If you aim and if you just think that the only way to be successful is by operating 100% every single day, and then as soon as you have one of those days where maybe you operated at 70, 80%, that can mess you up because you will think that you need to just restart everything or just you're not you failed your day, right? But if you can just make the mindset shift of understanding that this is literally what every high achiever goes through. Every high achiever doesn't have those perfect days. Every high achiever understands that they're going to have some great days and some bad days, but they keep on moving forward no matter what. They don't let basically a mediocre day or a bad day mess up the rest of their week, mess up the rest of their month, or hell, the rest of their year. And this is something that a lot of you watching this video can get value from, is how you fall into a rut sometimes is just by having one bad day, or it could be one bad hour or 2 bad hours, right? And you let that snowball into a negative spiral, right? Into a bigger negative snowball over time, where you then eventually are in this rut, which is even harder to get out of, as opposed to just understanding that, when that bad thing happened, when that bad day happened, if you just got back the next day and operated and aimed to perform at your best again, kind of forgetting the bad day, you wouldn't be in a rut, because you would just be building up the good momentum straight away after the bad day, right? And that's where I believe a lot of men go wrong when they're trying to achieve stuff in life and achieve greatness, build a new business, just self improve and all this stuff. They let a bad day turn into 2 bad days, then 3 bad days, then 7 bad days, 30 bad days, etc., etc. And the more you feed into this mindset of needing to be perfect all the time, the harder it is to actually be consistent, because it's ultimately unrealistic to be perfect every single day, right? So then inevitably, when that day happens, it's not a perfect day, you will lose courage, right? You'll almost like lose belief in yourself. You'll feel like shit. You'll feel like a failure. And man, I'm here to tell you that we're human, right? It's completely normal to have these bad days. But again, if you can just, instead of 100% of the days, just aim to be operating at your best, like 80, 90% of your days, like, and look, knowing that there is going to be the 10% of days where maybe you have that, I don't know, you have that cheat meal, you have that like, that day where you slightly slack off or whatever, or you indulge in certain activities which are maybe a bit more degenerate. You need that as a human being. I'll just be completely honest. I don't feed into the autistic level of like 100% of your life. You need to be, sat in front of your desk, working away at your business, or not talking to, not going to any parties, not talking to any girls, not like just focusing on your self-improvement. Mate, that's how to be viewed as an absolute nerd and be just a geek in your life, right? It's not, in my opinion anyway, a way to live your life. I believe in 90% of the time striving for the best version of yourself, like honestly just conquering your goals, being super disciplined, all this stuff. But and really striving for all the time, of course, but there's going to be those days, 5%, 10%, which are less productive, right? And if you can just accept that in your journey of life, in your journey towards success, whatever your goals are in your life, you'll find that everything will be a lot more productive. You'll be operating from a better mind frame. You'll be a lot more positive. You'll be ready. More importantly, you'll be prepared for like those bad days to come, because they will come, right? And you won't let them affect you. You won't let them affect the rest of your week, right? The rest of your month, which is ultimately the worst, like the worst trap that men can fall into, is that, because they fall in endless cycles of starting something, then failing, then starting something new, then failing, and never actually seeing concrete progress, right? So that's the video for today. Implement it, take this advice to heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.